Hey guys, Dawn here. What is going on in the ESL world? It is crazy. I swear I left right on time. A few months ago, I decided with everything going on, I was just done. I haven't taught ESL in a while. And now it's like the sky is falling. So, what is going on? Okay, let's talk about it. I know one thing for sure, ESL will never be the same. I don't know if it will completely come to a stop still, probably not, but it definitely will be different than it has been the past few years. So let's go ahead and talk about what is going on. Okay, so the Chinese government came up with this rule that it hasn't been official yet, it hasn't been passed yet apparently, but basically it is very expensive to raise children in China. You know, everyone knows they used to only allow one child per family for a long time. I believe a few years ago, they upped it to 2 children per family. Then they even upped it a few months ago to 3 per family. But everything's so expensive. Education is so expensive there that parents couldn't afford to have more kids, even though they were allowed to. So most of them didn't. So even though they were allowing parents to have like 2 kids, 3 kids, parents were just having 1 child. So the government thought that if they can cut out all the extra spending about education, then it could help parents have more money, have it be more affordable to have children, and then parents will have more children. So I just kind of want to read through this article that I think explains it really well. And let's see. Now, this is more from an economic standpoint. It's from Yahoo Finance, I think, and I'll link the article down below. Okay, so basically it says Beijing is coming down hard on the sector as excessive tutoring anguishes young pupils and burdens parents with expensive tutoring fees. Now, apparently, from what I've been hearing from parents and from people in China, there are these like pop-up tutoring centers that came up during the pandemic when kids couldn't be in school, and they were charging a ton of money for teaching the kids, and they were really shady. So apparently that is what the government is going towards, closing down. That's one thing I've heard, and that's what parents are telling me, that VIP Kid and these companies won't be affected, but it's those pop-up tutoring companies in China that parents are spending a lot of money for when their kids couldn't be in the school. So who knows? I will say one thing is, we don't know, parents don't know, no one knows except the government, and they certainly aren't telling people. The companies aren't telling us anything, or if they are telling us something, they basically are all telling us something different. I will get into that in a minute, but let's go back to this article about what exactly is going on, how it started. It's also regarded as an impediment to one of the country's top priorities, boosting a declining birth rate. Last month, China said it will allow a couple to have 3 children and released a slew of support measures to encourage births and lower child expenses. Making the whole sector go nonprofit would make a listed entity meaningless. Said Justin Tang, head of Asian research. So what the government is wanting to do is to turn these for-profit learning centers into not-for-profit learning centers. So they will not make as much money, they cannot charge as much money, so it's more affordable for the parents. Investors are selling out of their stocks, and the stocks being lowered a lot. And some people say that is the whole point of what the Chinese government is trying to do, lower the stocks, although I don't really understand that, but I don't live in a communist society, so I don't pretend to understand it. Last month, China's education ministry created a dedicated division to oversee all private education platforms for the first time that followed a plethora of restrictions, including caps on fees firms can charge and time limits on after-school programs. Regulators have fined 2 of the biggest startups for false advertising. Alibaba-backed Zoibang and Tencent investee Yuan Fudo. I am sure I butchered those words. I am so sorry. But Tencent backed and Alibaba backed. Okay, so that is one thing. And if you know, like, I think it's been like regulated for the past year or so that after a certain time, kids can't take classes. Like, I think it's after 9 p.m. Beijing time, kids cannot take classes anymore. And I think they were cutting down on weekends and holidays too. But anyway, thought that was very interesting. So let's talk about some of the individual companies and what's going on. VIP Kid has not said anything. They are still hiring. I, used to be a mock mentor with them. I have a lot of friends that are still mock mentors with them. They said, I just did a bunch of mocks yesterday. They aren't saying anything. They're still hiring, blah, blah, blah. Now, if any of the companies can survive, I personally think it's VIP Kid because they do like pro bono work anyway. They do have a nonprofit part. Well, I don't know if it's a nonprofit part, but they do this where they bring in a teacher online to poor classrooms, and they don't charge the schools or they don't charge the district, and they still pay the instructor. So I guess it's like a pro bono thing, right? I mean, that's what the Chinese government wants them to do. I don't know how much of that they do, but I know they do something like that. I also know VIP Kid has been branching out into other countries, and they have 2 offices in the United States. So I think if anyone's going to survive, and they're the biggest, right? And I think if anyone's going to survive, it is going to be them. So let's talk about the GoGo Kid. I don't really know about GoGo Kid. I'm also told it's business as usual. Their recruiting group is still going on. I did hear that the office has been letting people go, workers in the office. Don't know how many, don't know why, how, when, but I did hear there's less staff there. Okay, Magic Ears. So funny enough, and I've never been with Magic Ears, but Magic Ears I've never been with because I was always kind of scared of them. I always thought they were horrible. They micromanage. Everyone was posting these YouTube videos about why I left Magic Ears. One woman was even crying hysterically talking about it. I was like, I'm scared of this company. So I never worked for them. But funny enough, they're the ones that are giving the most information out to their teachers. They sent out a long email to their teacher. The emails are going all around the group. So I have them all. It's really long. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of summarize the email for Magic Ears. It says, many of you have been closely following the news regarding the new government regulations released at the end of July, just like a few days ago. These regulations affect all companies that offer tutoring on subjects that are taught in the public school curriculum, including English. It has taken time not only to understand the impact that these new regulations will have on Magic Ears, this is for Magic Ears, but also to recover from the initial blow. These past weeks have been very difficult for us in the Beijing office. Instead of trying to hide the sobering facts, we prepared this official announcement to be transparent. Like none of the other companies did this, at least none of the big ones that I know of. Here we go. So we believe our family of teachers have the right to know what is happening, so a vague announcement isn't enough. So Magic Ears also obviously has English-speaking people who write their stuff for them or go over their stuff for them. I know Zebra does not, and it makes it so confusing. So I appreciate that about Magic Ears. Too late now, but okay, so they want to know what the situation they are in and what their plan is. First of all, to be clear, the growth of online ESL industry is no longer being encouraged, and it will not be permitted to expand. The new regulations set in place will restrict activity for all ESL companies based in China. It will shrink the industry, and eventually it will be dissolved entirely. All companies, including Magic Ears, have downsized. We are now running on only a quarter of the staff that was initially supporting our students and teachers. So this Magic Ears one is saying basically all companies are going to downsize. ESL is being changed forever. On the upside, the government will be allowing some concessions to companies on an individual basis as they implement the new regulations. The good news for Magic Ears, our teachers and parents is this: they are allowing us to honor our contractual obligations with the parents who have already purchased classes. This is good news because one, most parents have purchased many months or even a year of classes in advance, and they would prefer for their children to attend class rather than get a refund. And number two, teachers can still count on steady work for our classes for months to come. Okay, but the big question still stands: how many months? Truth is, it's still hard to know exactly what will happen. They say updates could come out in a few months that they have no idea about, and it goes on and on and on, talking about the rumors. Oh, so contrary to some rumors, Magic Ears will not close. Rather, we feel confident that we will be functioning well for approximately another year. Okay, so that makes sense. The parents buy they buy classes and they buy sets of classes. So parents can buy a set of class up to a year, I guess. And so Magic Years will be around for that year. And so that's what they're saying anyway. Who knows if it's true, but if I was a company, I probably would say that too, because I don't want people, you know, I don't want the parents wanting them to get their money back. So why not? The government's going to allow them to finish up the year. So they will. So it'll be, you know, they'll finish up a year. You can feel very confident about your pay. As long as you teach us, you will be paid every month on time. Now, I believe that from all the companies. A lot of people are going around scared that they're not going to be paid. They're like, I'm not going to schedule because I'm not going to be paid. I believe everyone will be paid. It has nothing to do with that. They have the money. This is going forward. Okay, so people will get paid. I have no doubt people will get paid. Okay, to be sure we have enough teachers to meet the demand for classes, we will continue to renew the contracts of our current teachers and hire new teachers as needed. Our referral program will also continue. Coach will be there for you. However, due to downsizing, we are reorganizing our services to focus on the most crucial aspects of our teacher support. Starting today, communication will focus on answering emails only regarding payment, contracts, accounts, and standbys. Zoom teacher trainings have been indefinitely suspended. We will still evaluate classes and offer feedback. And then it talks about the carrot system, which I have no idea about. And the pay raise will continue. Okay, so what is interesting, what is very interesting about this is I am in a lot of ESL groups, and a lot of people I know teach for Magic Years. And they said that a lot of their contacts are gone. A lot of their coaches are gone. A lot of the office staff is gone. And that seems to be a recurring theme. And they message people in this messaging system, and then no one responds. So that makes sense what they said. You know, whatever these companies are saying, I don't trust any of them as far as I can throw them. You know, I've had this thing with Zebra English especially, right? Well, they're all the same. They are all like that. At least Magic Years is making some kind of attempt to put stuff out there. But I do have to say, so let's talk about Zebra English. Zebra English posted on their official page, not the group, but the page on Facebook, saying something cryptic. Well, it wasn't very cryptic, just saying, basically, because of the rules, we are not hiring anymore. If you are in the hiring process, it will be stopped. We also are not giving any more raises, and we are not accepting trial students. You will not have any more trials, and you will still be paid. We wish you a good life, something. We wish you the best of life. That was it. Then luckily a bunch of people got a screenshot, and then it was deleted. And I'll slice it in here so you could see what it is. I don't have it on me exactly. And then, so someone posted it on the official group, and you know, from my videos in the past, the official Facebook Zebra English group censors like anything. They are the worst that I know of. It's like you're in China. They censor everything. So someone posted that on the official, and then it didn't go through, or it was deleted right away, something like that. But they would not talk about it on official. And then finally, I believe Zebra English did send an email, maybe that night, the next day, early in the morning, basically saying that it's true they are not hiring anymore. They are putting a stop to that. You will not get a raise anymore. They put a stop to that. You will not get trials, but you will still have your classes as long as students book them. You will still teach, and they will pay you. And I have no doubt they will pay people. Although I guess they were late paying people last week, and some people were like, "Oh, does that have anything to do with it?" Yeah, they have the backing. It's not like someone came in their bank account and just took the money right out. Like they still will pay people. I have no doubt about that. But then everyone was freaking out, you know, everyone's freaking out because a few weeks ago, Zebra upped the referral bonus, I guess, from 100 to 150, maybe. They wanted more people, and they were, whatever. And Zebra English, everyone went through this last year with them. Check my email, check my other videos for that. Shady Zebra English. I go all into it there. It's just treated people terribly. But now at least they're telling people, you know, this is what's happening. So sad, too bad. They also said they will not answer any tickets anymore that unless it's about pay, or they will answer them very slowly. So they let a bunch of their office staff go, a bunch. So I guess the ones that are answering tickets, I don't know. So that's interesting. Honestly, so with Zebra English, they had an AI part for years and years and years. And I guess they were well known in China for that. So they didn't have a live teacher ESL part until a few years ago. 2 years ago, was it, when I started with them? I started with them right in the beginning of that. But their AI program was well established, and that's their main thing. And I was told that the teaching, the live online ESL program they started 2 years ago, was kind of like an experiment. It's not their main thing. So I thought a year ago for sure they were going to shut it down. Then I thought a few months ago they were going to shut that part down. And now obviously they will shut it down. It's just going to slowly kind of fizzle out. They aren't accepting new students for it. So I think when the parents finish their classes they already paid for, that'll be it. But they'll still have their AI part. So their company will be fine. Zebra English, they might be better than all the others because of this AI part they have. It's just that they won't have live teachers anymore. So the teachers will not be working there anymore, but their company will be fine and thrive. So what is going to happen with ESL? I think the smaller companies are going to die out. So I have a list actually of companies that have already closed. I know Wales. Wales is a funny one. I've never been with them because they send an email saying, yeah, we're closing. We're not hiring. We're closing. We're done. And then there was a post on their official group saying, no, it's a rumor. We're not done. But then there was an email saying, yeah, we're done. That's also funny. Also funny, you can't trust any of these companies for anything. And that's what I've been preaching for so long, is to have a backup, to make sure you're doing something besides ESL, to not have all your eggs in one basket. And no matter how much you love, and I did love the students and the parents, it is a communist Chinese government. They do not care about you. I am sorry, but they don't. The students love you, the parents love you, but you know what? There's a million others out there like you, like me. The companies do not care. They say, we are family, we care, blah, blah, blah. No, they do not. So I hope many of you have been adding to your basket things outside of ESL. I do have a video on different side hustles, but I include ESL in that side hustle. So I'm going to be redoing that video. I'll have more videos on different side hustles. People are throwing a ton of ideas out there. There's some great ones. I know OutSchool is huge, and now OutSchool is oversaturated. But you can find your niche in OutSchool if you want to do that. I don't teach there, but I started a company. It's kind of similar to OutSchool, but it's for adults. It's called Your Teachable Moment. If you go to www.yourteachablemoment.com, it's like OutSchool, but for adults. You could teach adults. We hire teachers from all over community, from outside our small little part of the world. So we are about growing community, taking classes. We have classes ranging from crafts to language. We also started parent and me classes. There's like a mom and me tea time and a dad and me tea time. It's really cool. So check that out. We are always looking for good instructors. I have other videos about that too. I will link below, but just don't go down with the ship. Or if you go down with the ship, just know what you're doing and look for something else while you're, cleaning this up for the next year. Maybe it'll go on a year. Maybe it'll be a lot sooner. Maybe nothing will happen and everything will go back to normal. I really doubt that though. I also suggest this, even for companies, especially for companies that do not want you to contact the parents. I would contact them. I mean, what are they going to do? Fire you? They're going downhill anyway. You might not even have the employees to fire you. So I would get the parents' contact information on WeChat And I would save it and I would contact them and do private tutoring if you want. Why not? You could charge more if you really have a good relationship with the parents and they really love you like you think they do. They will want you to teach their students privately. So how do you do that? Well, for WeChat, once you make an account, you have a QR code, I believe it's called. And you can just hold the QR code at the end of the class. And trust me, when you do that, you say WeChat, you hold it up. And if the parent's there, they will immediately, you'll see their phone clicking it. If it's just the child, they'll say, oh, mom, they'll call the parents. Parents will run and they will take a picture and then they will have you on their contacts. So companies have scared you into not doing that. Do it. What's going to happen? Then you could probably get a few of your own private students and then they'll refer you to others. So just be smart. Everyone was in the beginning was just so like, oh, these companies love me. I love my students. I would never work for someone else, blah, blah, blah. And now look what happens. They don't care about you. And I've been saying that for years. And now everyone is finally seeing it. And I know a lot of people diversified and they're doing great, which is awesome. A lot of people have not. So they were still holding on. And now really is the time. I mean, get off the boat before it takes you down with it. Or if you go down with it, just keep your life jacket there and know what you're getting into and have a backup. Okay. So what I would love to know is if you work for a specific company, put down in the comments what they have told you. What have they said is going on? Is it business as usual? Did they send you any information? Are they telling you what's going on? Are they letting you post in their official Facebook groups? All this stuff I'm really interested to know. And I will just put some more info as I get it in the notes, do another video if something comes up. And I will also do a side hustle video as well, an updated one. So make sure that you subscribe if you are not, so you know what is going on. And I would love to hear from you. Please put your comments down below. And I hope you all do well. I wish you all good luck. And I guess we'll see what happens. Just be prepared for anything. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.